Hello there. Welcome to my channel. My name is Gleeman. If you're returning, welcome back. This video will be slightly different. It caters more to my response videos. This one not necessarily being to any video in particular, but to a topic that has recently come up within the Skybros community, and that topic is of constructive criticism. This topic has been covered by a few people, some including Lily Fernwild and Penny Bloomfield. I wanted to add my 2 cents in. I have mentioned a few things on criticism, or at least made a few critiques within my breakdowns, but I haven't discussed the topic at length. So a little bit about me. I was an English major, but have an art degree. I say this because it will let you know that I have a good deal of experience with criticism, not only with receiving criticism, but with offering criticism, and the different methods on how to criticize someone's work, as well as the varying levels to criticism. One thing that I specifically wanted to discuss was, or is, the difference between objective criticism and subjective criticism. Believe it or not, they both exist. You can be objective in your criticisms, even when it comes to the arts. You do have to play by the rules, though, and those rules are that the art itself must meet criteria that is outside your own personal preference. How do we know what that even means? What I would like to do is use a couple of examples on what objective criticism actually looks like. And I'll keep it simple. We have two shapes. One is a circle and one is a square. If we just take the square, how can we determine whether or not it is a good or bad square? It seems rather simple. If it's square, it's a square, right? There are several criteria that a good square would meet, which is having equal straight sides with 90-degree angles whenever those sides meet. If these criteria are met perfectly, then we have a perfectly good square. Let's say that two sides are not an equal length to the others, and thus make the angle of the corner slightly off from 90 degrees. We then have a deviation from what is a good square. These are objective criteria that can be met just by drawing a square. We can then determine whether or not something is good or bad by that criteria, as long as it's trying to fit that criteria. Now, where this can go slightly off the rails is, and veer into subjective criteria, is if the person who is making judgments on the square are making judgments according to the criteria of a circle. The square is not going to meet that criteria whatsoever, and neither should it meet that criteria if the viewer or the critic would like to see a circle, then they should go to where the circles are, essentially. They shouldn't judge a square by the criteria of a circle. Now, to make this a little bit more complicated, yes, in the arts, it's a little bit more complex than just circles and squares. But we do still see certain criterias have to be met within the medium and within the style of the art. One of the critics that I've recently listened to has certain backgrounds that make him something like proficient in the fields that he's in. And that does give his criticism some weight to them. The issue that I find is that this particular critic happens to be in very specific fields of the arts, and judges all art by those specific fields. And I do mean all art. Also, he does have his biases, which he cannot set aside in order to critique said art. One such field that he is proficient in is that he has a history of being a DJ. That makes him very keen on dance music. That is what a DJ is for, and that is what he judges music by. The problem being that music has varying degrees of motion, or the need for motion. There is some music that you can just sit and relax to, like the background music that I have playing right now. There is some music that is for headbanging. There's some music that is for ballet dancing. There's some music that is simply meant to have you sit and think, to contemplate. Some music to make you fall asleep. All of these genres and styles of music don't necessarily fit into one single category. And to expect all of the music that you critique to fall into that particular category is bad criticism, to be frank. Another thing to think about is the art of storytelling. Not all storytelling is the same either. You have your short stories, you have your long epics, you have your political sci-fi, you have your fantastical fantasies. All of these have different criteria that they need to be meeting, and they cannot be judged by another's criteria, or at least if they are judged by another criteria, then the critic is doing the work a disservice and themselves a disservice. So that being said, I also wanted to go into specific biases. There is some artwork out there, some videos in the Skybros sphere that I don't break down. I don't desire to critique it or give my opinion on it, because it's not my style. It's not my genre that I like. And I can make that distinction for myself. I know that if I were to make judgments on it, it would be from a subjective lens. I cannot remove my own biases from that lens. And so I simply do not critique it. So all of that being said, there are objective measurements to works of art, and there are subjective. Subjective measurements, as I was pointing out, are either it basically comes down to bias of the critic, of the audience. If the artwork is creating a certain feeling in you, but otherwise is meeting the objective criteria for which it should be measured, then what your feelings are, your feelings can be completely valid, but it falls within the realm of subjective criticism. The artwork is bad according to you specifically. It doesn't make it objectively bad, though. And I just wanted to make those points fairly clear. The next part of understanding criticism is when to offer positive and negative criticism. I think that in the beginning, if the person you are, or the artist that you are critiquing as far as their work goes, is showing very little talent in the field, it could be a good thing to tell them that this field might not be where they should put their efforts. Granted, there are artists out there that started very poorly, but through dutiful work ethic and skill have made themselves very valuable to the art sphere, simply through hard work and skill, not necessarily an innate talent, but that is a very hard road, and anyone who is going down that road should be cautioned about said road, so that they know what they're getting into. That being said, there are also those with great talent, but no knowledge of the field yet. And if they are starting out, then it is better to offer positive criticism in a manner of saying, this is good, you should continue doing this, focus on this, while avoiding any negative criticisms or overly negative criticisms, because what you want to foster is that spark of inspiration and that drive to continue making art. Now, as the artist furthers in their career, more negative criticism can be applied to sharpen their skills and increase that talent through the actual criticism itself. Iron sharpens iron, so does a man sharpen the countenance of his fellow man. And if you go to like the cream of the crop, or cream of the slop in our case, you would, essentially bad, or not bad, but harsh criticism is warranted, and the artist should expect it, because they are now held to a higher standard which they themselves have set, and they should welcome that sort of harsh criticism, so that they can continue to grow to ever higher heights. And that is something that I hope to start to do among this community. I know that there are several creators who are achieving amazing things, and very soon I think it'll start to be time to give a more critical eye to what those creators are making, in order that they refine their craft. But yeah, those are just a few of my thoughts. This is mainly a response to a particular critic of the Skybros sphere that has spoken up recently, and I have to say, I didn't appreciate the critic's thoughts on the art that he was critiquing, specifically because of the metrics that they were using, and the bias that was not presented ahead of time or acknowledged. So anyway, I will leave those thoughts with you, and you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.